Hi, welcome to Canfield Company. I'm your host, Rob Canfield. My co-host today is Tana Canfield. Guess what? She's my wife. Hey, thanks for coming on the show again.
Hey, you're very welcome, Rob. Thank you for having me back.
Actually, this is kind of a date. We work so late sometimes. This is about the only time we've actually had to spend some time together.
It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too. So this is kind of our date. Isn't that? It's pretty sad, isn't
Special.
it? We have to go on TV to get on a date.
No, it's special.
It's kind of special. Anyway, we have several topics today. The first topic is the Soulful Giving event, the blanket concert.
The Soulful Blanket concert
Yeah.
that was held a week ago in the hot summer sun. It was fun. It was well attended.
It was a well-attended, very good cause.
Great food, great atmosphere, great ambiance.
Raising money to fight, as Junkie would
Cancer.
put it, Junkie Yoshuda would put it, fight the stupid cancer.
Yeah.
Now this year, every year they have a silent auction to raise money for cancer. Many people donate tons of different items.
Great items.
And setups and baskets, that sort of thing, to raise money. And there's a silent auction. Tana has a story to tell about her adventures with the silent auction. Tell us about
So then we're milling around at the different items. So Rob kind of goes one way, I go the other. We kind of meet. Hey, what did you find? Hey, what did you find? And kind of put it together, thinking, okay, some trips, that type of thing. So unbeknownst to me, I sign up, come back maybe an hour later. Guess what happened, Rob?
Well, tell the folks, what item did you put your silent bid on?
Well, I
and
actually
why
did
you
several,
decide to pick
but then
that?
they went higher and higher and higher as the afternoon wore on. So one item in particular is the Ichiro, a former Mariner. My dad said he retired last year, so that's the skinny on it. But it's a Topps 2008 autograph card by Ichiro, and you know what? It's in purple ink. That's my favorite. Oh, it's a beautiful signature. Anyway, and I thought, hey, I want to get something special for my dad since he turned 90, and he loves the Mariners.
He's a
right?
huge Mariners fan.
Great story about that. So I thought this would be a perfect gift, and I told Rob, you know what? This would be an awesome gift for my dad. And as the afternoon wore on, getting towards the end of bidding, there becomes this interesting display of, what would you call it?
I would call it an interesting phenomenon of the
phenomenon.
silent bidders.
Yes.
So what you do, there is, let's say this is the baseball card she was bidding on. And then there's a sheet, if you know how silent auctions work, and you write down your name and your phone number and the amount you're bidding for that particular item. And then multiple people can raise the amount by $5 over the course of the day.
Some do more than that.
Some do more than that. So you put an initial bid amount in.
I did.
And then you went back later, and
I
what did you find?
Well, it kept going higher and higher. So I signed up again, right? And interesting enough, like the last couple minutes, I don't know, somebody came and I went, no, I want to give my dad this card. And nobody's been up here for several hours.
Right. So a woman
right?
comes up and puts a higher bid amount, and what did you ask her?
She raised it $10, and I just said, really? Do you really want this card? She goes, oh, yes. I just love Ichiro. I have his uniform number. What is
His
that
uniform number, his
And
jersey,
his
and
jersey. And I
his
have
rookie
his
card?
rookie card. So this would be nice. And I go, well, my dad just turned 90. I want to get him something special. He's a big Mariners fan. So she said, well, I'm signing up. So again, she bid. Well, this time I waited around, right? You're looking around. And I told Rob,
Yep.
I said, we're kind of on standby here. In that
Yeah.
last minute,
the end
the
of the
guys
bidding
came up.
Yeah, the end of the bidding was at 3:15. So Tana figured this out, how to make this happen.
Well, the guys come up,
Right.
and they're looking at the card, and they're looking at the paper, and they're looking at each other. It'll be cool. Do we really need it? Do we really want it? No. Now, this is all for charity, so people are looking at it that way, right? So it's a great time to think of others.
So it's
for
coming to the
gifts and that
time, the deadline.
Right, and so there's a ton of people. And the guys put the pen down and walked away. They did not sign up for it. So I thought, okay. Rob says, I think you have it. And I go, until the fat lady sings, you never know.
So she basically hovered next to the card.
Other people do the same thing. That's why there's so many people there.
Right.
And so then this woman came and just swooped all those pages. I mean, it was fast.
Auction was over.
The auction
she
was
scooped
over.
all the pages, and you won the card.
And I won the card. And my dad was thrilled because I presented it to my dad. And so lesson learned. One of my girlfriends, Paula, she didn't even sign up. She said she waits till the end, and then she really wants something, she will sign up. But she said people were already over the amount that she had budgeted for a particular item or items. So lesson learned there. It is an all-out man for himself.
It's every man for himself, woman for herself.
The other items were fine. They were like some really good times. And I thought, well, next year I'll know how to play this game. Yeah. But anyway, it is quite a game. And
she made her dad happy, who's a big Mariners fan.
It was fun. It was fun.
That was a fun part of the
silent auction.
Of the silent auction. Fun part of the
day.
A soulful giving event was bidding on the items. It was all for charity. Yeah.
Yeah. So it goes to cancer research. So it was thrilling to be able to be, know, hey, we're a part of that.
So that's a tip. If you ever happen to go to a silent auction, if you ever have a chance to go to a silent auction.
And have the option to bid.
Yeah, and many of you have done this. However, we finally figured out, how do you get the item you want?
Yeah.
Towards the end of the deadline, you hover. Get those elbows sharpened so no one else, that's what you do. She's the master. She got her Ichiro card. It's really pretty cool.
That was cool.
So that's it for that first topic, and we'll be right back after this with another topic on Canfield Company. Hi, welcome back to Canfield Company. I'm your host, Rob Canfield, with my co-host, Tana Canfield. Topic number 2 today, we're going to talk about Rockwood, where Tana grew up. You had some things you wanted to tell the folks.
I do, and you know why? Because Rockwood has gotten such a bad rap, a bad deal. Rob, I went to Lynch View and Lynch Terrace, and what was it that was on the news last week?
The politically correct Centennial School Board decided to change the names and remove the word Lynch because they thought the people would be offended by the term lynching, although
that doesn't
it had nothing to do with lynching, does it?
Somebody who was like
the Lynch family donated the land to the school district. It's a family name.
Yes.
Just like former Secretary of State Loretta Lynch. It's her last name.
Has nothing to do with anything other than it was named after the person, that donated that land, that gave that land, and so, bless their hearts, they designated our grade schools in like Big Lynch, Lynch View, Lynch Terrace, Lynchwood, and on down the line. There were several of them.
So now the thoroughly cowed and politically correct Centennial School Board, what did they decide to do?
Well, I don't know what their decision is.
They decided to remove the Lynch name. So you went to which 2 Lynch schools?
They split up
Lynch
all
Meadows?
these schools. No, I went to Lynch View and Lynch Terrace. I think Lynch Terrace became
Terrace.
Lynch Meadows. I don't know.
Lynch View, I believe, turned into View, and Lynch Meadows turned to Meadows.
I've always called it, Lynch View.
But they just took out the words Lynch because they were afraid of offending the politically correct.
I am offended.
I'm offended that the Centennial School Board, they're cowards for cowing to political correctness.
Oh my goodness.
But it doesn't really surprise me.
That's not politically correct, Rob. That is not politically correct.
It doesn't really surprise me, though.
Well, it surprises me, and I'll tell you something.
People are afraid of being called racist these days.
Put those names back in place. We're disrespecting those school names. Those have been in place since I went to Lynch View and entered first grade. And it's disrespectful to me and countless thousands upon tens of thousands of children who are now adults. I didn't ask for a name change. I want you to bring back Lynch View, Lynch Terrace, Lynch Wood, Big Lynch. All right? Let's get that done.
Why not use it as a teaching moment to explain about the history of the Lynch family?
There you go.
Teaching moment in school, and explain that this has nothing to do with the other type of lynching. It's not lynching. Instead of using it as a teaching moment, as most school districts do, they are cowards and they do the politically correct thing.
I'm totally offended, though.
Shame on you, Centennial School District.
Shame.
Yeah, shame. That's it for this topic. And rants. We love our rants.
Yeah, we
we'll be
love our
right back
rants.
after this. Welcome back to the show, Canfield and Company. I'm your host, Rob Canfield, and my co-host is Tana Canfield, the Mrs., the wife, the co-host. Next topic we're talking about today, Troutdale Urban Renewal. As many of you know or may not know, for the past 15 years, the city of Troutdale has been working on creating a development for new use of the land behind Troutdale's outlet mall.
Right.
The current area behind the outlet mall, some of the land is owned by the city of Troutdale. There's an old decrepit sewer treatment plant back there. Another piece of property back there is owned by the Yoshida Group, also called East Winds.
Right.
And for the past 15 years, the city has been working on creating a new development back there.
Right.
So the citizens of Troutdale, about 10 years ago, passed a urban renewal district. It went to a vote, and
Yep,
people
it
said, yes,
passed.
we want an urban renewal district behind the outlet mall. And for the past 15
voted
years,
for that.
we have been trying to, because I was part of this, I was on the Troutdale City Council.
So was I.
Both of us were on the urban renewal committee, the original urban renewal committee.
With the vision.
With deciding what we wanted back there.
Yeah.
And the East Wind Group had promised a development back there, a
Right.
boutique hotel, possibly a mini convention center, which would attract $30 to $40 million of development
Revenue.
behind there.
Yeah.
And so over the past 10 years, the city has been working on finding a way to get a road through the middle of the outlet mall. Punch a road through the outlet mall. They made a deal, the city and East Winds Group made a deal where the city would agree to punch a road through the outlet mall, and in turn then the Yoshida Group or East Winds Group would pay to buy the city's property back behind there to make it one giant property.
Yeah, that's true.
And there were negotiations back and forth.
Oh my goodness.
Condemnation proceedings began for the road. There was already financing lined up for the condemnation and for the road, and also the East Winds Group already had $30 to $40 million of financing lined up to build this great boutique hotel.
Yeah.
And it was estimated that the Outlook estimated that the total investment back there could be $70 to $80 million once everything was through.
Wow.
However, within the last month or so, the East Winds Group decided they were going to pull out the process because the city of Troutdale had been dragging its feet on pushing the new road through.
Right.
Now, I don't know the circumstances beside that, other than we know for sure that the city did not lift a finger to close the deal or to push through the road through the outlet mall as they promised to do in the agreement with the East Winds Group.
Right.
So East Winds Group finally said, the city is not lifting a finger, they're not going to lift a finger, so they said, forget about it, we're pulling out.
Yeah. Sad.
Now, I heard from some folks that some members of the Troutdale City Council, after this was announced, they went out and had drinks in celebration of killing this deal. As a matter of fact, this current City Council, this is my opinion only, I believe they probably told the city staff, and this is my opinion, this may not be the reality of it, but this is my opinion. I believe that in executive sessions about this deal, I believe the city council told the city staff not to lift a finger in order to kill the deal, because many of the city councilors on that board they have been against this deal from the beginning.
Right.
Let me name them for you. Councilor David Ripma, Councilor Rich Allen, Councilor Glenn White, and it turns out even Mayor Casey Ryan was against it because he's not a big believer in condemnation, even though this has been something that
Very sad.
has been the policy for 15 years.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking to learn of this.
Yeah. So this is the backside of this. Okay, the agreement was if the city failed to punch a road to the outlet mall, then the city would agree, and they did agree, to buy the Yoshida property and reimburse the East Winds Group for every single dime of improvements they made in that property.
Wow.
So this is what's happening here. Instead of Troutdale getting a new $30 to $40 million development on that space, bringing in lots of jobs, lots of tax revenue, instead what's going to happen is the city is now owes East Winds Group over $2.5 million. The city still has property where they still have to clean up the old sewer treatment plant.
Good luck with that.
Which the estimates are $1 to $2 million to clean that up.
With that.
And the city does not have the money to pay this. So they're basically going in debt by over $3 million, which you, the Troutdale taxpayer, will end up paying. It could result.
You and me.
It could result in layoffs. It could result in depressed,
devastating
economy.
Yeah.
The cancellation of this project has burned many bridges within the folks at the state of Oregon who had this high on their list of developments.
Yeah.
And it would be even more difficult to get a developer to buy this property since they've seen the poor treatment. They got such poor treatment from the city of Troutdale.
I know, yeah. You're absolutely right, Rob. And who is going to take this on? Okay, what happens? I'm wondering, would those city council people that voted, to kill it, as well as Mayor Casey Ryan, would they be willing to have a large public hearing on why they voted that way? I believe that all of us, you, myself, countless others, we have a right to know, because they're in office, what were they thinking? How come they did this? What is the benefit of them voting against it? I want them to come forward. Lay down your cards.
Why, instead of having a huge development, why did you incur over $3 million of debt with the city with no possible way to pay for it?
Yep.
So citizens of Troutdale, your city council basically gave your city an additional debt of over $3 million with no way to pay for it and no possibility of development for that urban renewal
Who's
district.
going to take on this project?
These are the people you voted. These are the people you voted for.
You voted these people in. This is the consequences of voting in a council who cannot explain the reason behind their votes. Why would they devastate a city like this, put the city at risk for going under? Rob sits on the budget committee. I've sat on the budget committee for years. We know what the budget's like. Hello, where are they going to come up with this money? Are you city councilors and Mayor Casey Wright, are you going to contribute your big bucks to pay off what should have been Troutdale's to Mr. Yoshida and his beautiful wife Linda? I ask you, what are you going to do?
There's another side to this, which I spoke about a year and a half ago, is that the city has bent over backwards to help and support and provide taxpayer financing for big downtown projects like North Troutdale, which was done by Max Maydew back in the day. Who was a white guy.
Great development.
Who was a white guy.
Yes.
They bent over backwards with Bremen Construction and that group across the street for developing that area.
Oh, yes.
They bent over backwards for a certain artist.
Yes.
To.
It's also, my color skin, your color skin.
Who's white.
Yeah.
White guys seem to have the advantage if you're getting approval from the South Troutdale City Council.
What's wrong with this picture, Rob.
So I'm just saying is the only difference between these other successful projects that they've bent over backwards to do,
what's up with this?
and this project behind the urban and behind the outlet mall is the color of a particular person's skin.
And that is
That's strictly my
totally
opinion.
wrong. That's my opinion too.
But the white guys in
obvious.
Troutdale, they get
It's
the
pretty
deals,
obvious.
and the guy who's not white
Non-white.
doesn't get the deal. I'll just leave it there. You can address your opinions to me. Be on the show if you want to combat it.
Yeah, let's have it. Hey,
But
invite all
that's
those.
just the way it is.
Invite all those counselors and the mayor to come to your show.
That's a fact.
Explain themselves.
So
But anyway,
that's this topic. That was
be
my rant
back.
for the topic. We'll be right back after this.
welcome back to Canfield Company. We have your host, Rob Canfield, and I am his co-host, Tana Canfield. And how are you today? We are just warming up, aren't we?
Just warming up. We've had some hot topics, and now we're gonna go take a little levity and a little
Breather?
less serious. We're gonna take a breather on the serious stuff. We're gonna talk about some like nonsense stuff. We're talking about reality TV shows. Do you
One of
guys
my
watch reality TV?
One of my favorites.
What's your favorite reality TV
Oh
show?
my
What have you been
goodness.
following?
Well, it depends on the season, but Dancing with the Stars, love that. Gotta love that. Gotta get Rob out on there. Gotta do some dancing, ballroom dancing.
No way, but she loves Dancing with the Stars.
I love
Me,
to
not so
dance.
much. What do you suppose is the popularity behind a show like Big Brother? Why do you watch it?
Why do I watch it? Yeah, there's something there. It's entertaining. It's kind of like these people really are on national, worldwide television, right? And their real selves can come out. Like, it was fighting words from the beginning this season on Big Brother. I mean, there wasn't any fluff. They were right at each other's throats from the get-go. And it's been an interesting debut for reality TV on Big Brother.
Yeah.
So it's different than it has been in the past. Of course, Paul, who played it last year, since he's been there before and almost won $500,000, is in there this year, and he wants that $500,000.
And the interesting thing about all of these reality shows is they're not based on reality
No.
at all. Even on a show like Big Brother, I'm sure there are
get-
script writers and segment
yeah.
producers
Oh, yeah.
that encourage these people in this house to
Yeah.
do certain things, and they egg
Or they
them
set
on,
them up. Yeah.
and they set them up.
Sure.
But I think they save a lot of money on script writers
Oh,
for
yeah.
entire shows. That's how reality shows began.
Right.
There was a writer's strike back in the day,
Yeah.
and so folks and networks thought, well, forget about the writers, we'll do these so-called reality shows. But
Yeah, but they are. Like Food Network Star, they're getting, behind the scenes, they're getting people
Yeah.
to help them out.
Food
and-
Network is big on.
Yeah.
You've got next. The best one is Chopped. I do like to watch
Oh,
Chopped.
yeah. And
Where
again,
they
those
have
are all
four
set up.
chefs and
Yeah.
they go through different things, and then
The barbecue
They
one,
get-
and
3 of them get chopped and one of them wins $10,000.
Let's Beat Bobby Flay,
Beat Bobby
all of
Flay.
these. So,
And
in
there's
other
one that's
words-
really people who really think is obnoxious is
Oh my goodness. Cutthroat Kitchen.
Guy Fieri and Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
I love that one.
And people think he's pretty obnoxious. Interesting thing, he came out here and went to Shirley's Tippy Canoe,
yeah.
and magically, after she was on the show, her prices were jacked up out of this world.
Right.
But yeah,
Back
people
in the day that we did.
people go there because they saw it on the show.
Yeah.
It's great for the restaurant,
Great marketing.
but he is a little over the top.
I
Don't you
like
think?
him. Well, I like him because he is entertaining. He has his grocery games show. Now he's coming up with another one, and he's everywhere. Well, he has his own cookware line. Hey, when you're hot, you're hot. Take advantage of it. But
Then they've got
we have like Gordon Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, Master Chef. There's a lot of reality
There's
shows.
Gordon
and
Ramsay's-
cooking shows,
yeah.
baking shows. There's literally probably hundreds of them.
There's Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, and the whole premise of the show is he picks a restaurant that's in trouble and
Bells
shows
them
them
out.
how terrible they are. Rats in the kitchen,
I don't like it for
cockroaches
that
in the
reason.
drinks.
Ew.
and
no.
grease all over the place.
I don't like that.
And he tells them, this is how you can, he tells them they suck. And then he brings in what they should do, and cleans it up. Sometimes renames the restaurant, gets new chefs, new whatever, and he tries to have them improve.
Well, so it's a bar rescue.
And at the end of the show, at the Kitchen Nightmares, he goes, okay, I've turned this restaurant around, and now they're going to be good to go. But, if you look online, the little secret about Kitchen Nightmares, if you go Google each restaurant that he so-called saved on Kitchen Nightmares, about 90% of them are now closed.
Yeah.
So
Sad.
reality TV sometimes is less than reality, doesn't help at all.
No.
It's just a show.
You know,
but here's what I'm wondering about all these restaurant reality shows. I mean, Oregon, if you're a restaurant or a bar or a tavern, you have a health inspector come about once a month, every couple of months, and they inspect your restaurant from top to bottom with a fine-tooth comb, white gloves. You get a grade. Why is it on these shows? It seems don't these other states have health inspections in the restaurants?
So, Rob.
You're seeing cockroaches. You're seeing grease like this. You're seeing 5-year-old food in freezers.
That's
Come
scary.
on, really?
I mean, dripping. Did you remember some of those where they have them in big containers? They're not even refrigerated, and it's like chickens. Who knows how long they've been in there?
Don't these other states have health monitors?
No, I don't think they do, and that's the problem. Oregon, thankfully, has the health inspection and the restaurant.
But this all could be fake too. I mean, all these reality shows.
I don't think that's set up to be fake.
I think it's fake. I think a lot of them are fake.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's just as fake as.
I have to ask the host, Gordon Ramsay, on
it's just
that
as
one.
fake as airplane repo, right? How can you sneak around with the camera crew and steal a Learjet? How can you sneak around in the middle of the night with lights and steal a Learjet?
They must have a lot of detectives all over.
I think it's fake.
I don't know.
I think they're totally fake.
I don't know.
Fake.
Oh, Rob,
Fake.
don't ruin it for us.
Like, see, this show, this is kind of a reality show, but it's also.
It's real.
It's real.
I'm real. You're
but
real.
it's fake because you're seeing the background, but it's green screen here. But the background you see is fake.
It is?
So it will be after I put it in post-production.